If you're interested in popular graphic arts and lithographs and prints like that from American history, then you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to walk through about 15,000 historical prints that date from around 1700 to 1900, and they're in this, what they call a popular graphic art series. It's a PGA series, and so it's public domain, completely free, and there's some really cool hidden gems in here that you can use for print on demand or crafting or anything like that. So let's jump in. Okay, so here's the actual Library of Congress website, and I'll put a link to this in the video description below. Now, being the government, it's not necessarily intuitive on how to actually search the collection here. There's a search bar, which is great, but if you want to just view the collection, it's like, well, where do you go? Well, there's a little View All button here on the left, and then there's another View All that's kind of buried right there. So I'm going to click on this. It says many images are digitized. So I'm going to click View All, and then here's the actual collection. And then what you want to do is right here at the top, it says 19,296. I'm going to click this button here, larger image available anywhere, and that lowers this down to 18,238. So we've got about 18,000 images, and then you can hover over these to find a little tiny thumbnail. So I'm going to just open these up. I'm going to right click and open in a new tab, and I'm going to see what we're dealing with here. So this first one is created around 1780 to 1830, and it shows a woman fashioned out of or carrying cooking implements. And this is pretty niche, right? So I'm not suggesting this is going to be a major seller on any print-on-demand platform. But to view this, you would click on this JPEG, 51 kilobytes or 280 kilobytes. I'm going to click 280 because that's a larger file. We can see here when I click on the little plus button, that's a really nice high quality scan of something. I'm not saying that these are instant classics. You could make a funny card, and because it's vintage and because it's professionally done, that's sort of the appeal, right? Here's another one. This is a Sioux chief, and this would be from 1838 about, roughly. So this would be public domain as well. Now, if you're looking at the rights advisory, it says right here, rights advisory, no known restrictions on publication. And typically what happens is when something's super old, it goes into the public domain. So this is over 100 years old. So I'm going to click on this 225 kilobytes, and we can see there, that's a really beautiful picture. Now you can see there's a bit of a scan of the book in behind. So what I would probably do is clean this up. I'd remove the background, and then I would clean this up, and then I could make a really nice fine art print using this picture. Here's another really nice one. This is Edwin Forrest, and this was created in 1878, and it's a picture of a horse. I'm going to click on the larger image, and we can see that's a pretty nice high quality scan. Beautiful colors. I absolutely love this. So again, I would probably remove out, well, I would do one of two things. I would either remove out the background and remove out the text, and I would make some sort of funny design or some sort of print that does not include the original text, or I would just do this as is. I would leave everything in and just have this basically be a reproduction of the print, but I would digitally clean it up. I'd remove out the border because you can see it's an actual photograph of a picture, so there's a border around it. I'd remove that, and then you could sell this pretty much as a fine art print as is. Okay, so if you like horses, then this is a great collection because there's just lots and lots of beautiful old retro horse pictures here. That's absolutely fantastic quality as well. Some of these are black and white, and then some of these are color, and I think it's really nice to have that choice as well. And again, if you wanted to niche down, like for example, having a poster collection of vintage horse pictures, it may not sound like something that's a super high seller, but people who like horses, they really like horses. So having high quality prints like this could be a huge selling feature. So the beauty of having 18,000 pictures is you're going to find something for everybody in here. So here is Tom Sayers, Champion of England. This is from 1860, and this is an old-timey boxing picture. And here's another one, same guy, but this is a close-up of what he looked like. So again, this would be something where I'd probably remove the background, and then you could have some sort of a funny boxing design, or even just a serious boxing design. Again, if you're a historian or a boxing aficionado, this is really hard to find. People who are like boxing fans aren't combing through 18,000 results on the Library of Congress to find a boxing image necessarily. So what you want to do is make it easy for people who don't even know this exists. If you show this to a friend who's a boxing fan, they might look at that and go, wow, that's a really cool poster to have if you love like vintage boxing, for example. And of course, I wouldn't be doing my due diligence here unless I showed you a funny cat photograph. So here's two cats getting into trouble, little white kitties fishing. And again, I love funny cat stuff. So there's so much in this portfolio. There's about 18,000 in here, 183 pages of stuff. The list just goes on and on and on. Just make sure to check the rights on these items. If you click on something and you see the date on it, like here's 1923, you may find, instead of no known restrictions, you may see that it says some rights restrictions. And so you definitely want to check that out first. You don't want to be using something that is not public domain. I really hope you found this video helpful. I absolutely love old vintage stuff, and I spend hours and hours combing through these, finding really cool designs that I can use for print on demand, or just fun crafting things too. You never know when you're going to need a picture of Andrew Jackson, the American president. It could come up. Fantastic quality here. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. If you found this video helpful, do click the like button. I would really appreciate it. And here's another video on how you can find some more print on demand goodness in the form of public domain assets.